everybody, I'm Mango Thunderslice, and today we're just gonna kind of do a recap video. This is kind of why we make videos. So we're doing a recap of what this channel is all about, and what you can expect going forward. You know, because you know, you who have been around for a while and you who are new subscribers, you probably noticed that this channel doesn't really stick to one topic. We kind of bounce around. And, you know, to me that's perfectly natural. My interests are extremely wide and varied, as are Space Panthers. And this is kind of the nature of how we came together. Mango and Space Panther explore the universe, right? We were on such a vibration together and kind of on this truth and health and wellness and just ascendance. And we wanted to share that with the world. So, you know, basically almost 5 years ago we created the channel. And it's funny, we even listed out, you know, all the different topics we wanted to talk about, and we've actually managed to hit a lot of them over the last few years, you know, but it's so much is going on these days, and it's so exciting to see the magic that we've cast out into the universe coming back in spades, with results and reality just literally changing before our eyes. And, you know, a lot of you guys are new subscribers. We recently just had a video go to, you know, a new all-time record for the channel, which is the video George Bush Sr. killed John F. Kennedy. And, you know, as you might expect, because of the recent passing of George Poppy Bush Sr., George Herbert Walker Bush, people started looking into what his past and history was all about. And, you know, so we got like 25,000 views on that video within a few days' time. We've got hundreds of new subscribers. Really stoked for all of you who are around now to check us out and learn some things, hopefully. And, you know, basically just keep good vibes about it, because, you know, I guess just to jump forward a little bit, there's a lot of people out there who are bringing truth, right? A lot of people with the conspiracy videos and the politics and whatnot, but a lot of people get a little too into it, and they start to kind of freak people out. They start to get a little too negative, a little too cynical, a little too just kind of, is this like tunnel vision, right? You put the blinders on, you're only looking what you're looking at, but there's all this going on out here, right? And good vibes is really what it's about. If you learn the truth and you lose your mind, it's not really helpful, right? It's good to learn the truth, but you gotta keep it in balance, keep that energy flowing. So this is just kind of a list, general list of the topics that, you know, we have been hitting and we're gonna continue hitting going forward. You know, in addition to some of the things like conspiracy topics like JFK and George Bush, you know, I know that a lot of people are really interested in that, so we're gonna continue making, you know, videos as it makes sense, right? You know, there's only so many conspiracies, but then again, they're always cooking up new ones. And so yeah, the conspiracy and geopolitics and politics, obviously there's a lot going on in our world right now. There's so much propaganda being put out by the mainstream media. You know, again, most people are still in their Trump derangement syndrome, thinking that we have an actual Nazi in the White House and everything he does is white supremacy, even though he's never literally said a single white supremacist thing in his entire presidential career or campaign. But anyway, you know, it's just counterbalancing that dark spell that's being cast over the people, right? They're sold this bill of goods, which is fear, 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 division, 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 hatred, 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 and at the same time, they're calling everybody else who even mildly disagrees with them or shares a different perspective, right? They declare that they're racist, Nazi, hateful people, right? They want to say that I'm speaking hate speech right now, right? I don't have hate towards anybody, right? I'm just trying to bring the truth. And I will admit that sometimes I get a little blinders on and tunnel vision, and I have that instinct to hate. When shit just, you know, just irritates me so bad, and people saying such things that are not only stupid, insanely stupid, but evil. And it's being promoted by this culture, and it's so sickening when people are literally celebrating as straight up evil and a satanic religion, which, you know, basically the default atheist, you know, materialist culture of today in the Western world is a satanic culture, and I'm not about it, and I will continue being the rock that breaks those waves, right? So conspiracy politics, geopolitics, right? And going forward, this is going to become a very big issue. It already is. A lot of people are talking about it, but the 5G grid and the nature of wireless technology, and of course all the benefits, but there's also the hidden side of the potential harms, whether it's just physical harm, but also just our energetic bodies, and understanding that really spiritual component, which is something people don't really take seriously. But until you really understand the spiritual and the energetic component of this world that we live in, you're missing like a major puzzle piece right in the center, right? And I'm helping to try and bring that puzzle piece out. So yeah, the 5G grid and artificial intelligence, right? Again, a lot of these videos are just, oh my God, freak out, it's the AI, it's the 5G. I love the information. I'm really, really tired of the doom porn, of people just go, oh my God, the AI is gonna take us over, man, it's like the new aliens, right? And, I'm not about it. I'm not about any information that comes out trying to tell us that we're all doomed, okay? Even if they roll out 5G across the whole nation, we're not doomed, okay? There's always a response. So just, pump the brakes and cool it a little bit. There's always a solution. The solution existed before the problem, and it's just a matter of perspective. Right? Going into, ether physics and the electric universe, this is extremely tied in with the previous, listed topics, right, to 5G and AI, because, again, if you still think that we're just meat sacks and we have no energetic, component, and consciousness is just this function of the brain, and it doesn't, mean anything, and, it's only in humans, animals don't have any consciousness, matter doesn't have any consciousness, but I'm of a completely different perspective. As far as I can tell, the universe is one coherent field, right, and that field is the ether, right? And electromagnetic waves, all forms of energy, is just vibrations and ripples of that sea, of that prime substrate, which is the ether. And the greatest minds in history all accepted this as fact until old Einstein came around and introduced relativity, which makes no sense at all. One of the few people in this world who has come to that realization that it makes no sense at all. Don't have to be a physicist to understand that it's ridiculous, but there is something that unites the universe, and again, it's a spiritual thing as well as a scientific thing. When you understand the whole universe is connected, that's not just like, oh, interesting, oh, chemical bonding. No, it means also with the principle of entanglement that every action in the entire universe, every event is recorded, and that information is instantaneously available. We are not limited by the speed limit of the speed of light, right? This universe instantaneously connected, and that is the mind of God, or at least in my opinion. In the electric universe, right, there's a whole revolution of science taking place right now, and this is one of the main reasons we made this channel. When I started really making more videos, and the original ether physics video was, I just see all these nerds, these beta male cucks, and their worship of science, their worship of this atheistic scientific, it's not even scientific, atheistic scientism, right? This materialist reality that disavows anything spiritual or energetic and thinks itself so hyper intelligent for doing so. I've got no respect for it. It's gone way too far, and it's time for the culture to push back in the other direction with the Overton window. And that's, again, what I'm doing these videos for, because I don't see too many people out here repping that position, right? And going into vaccines and natural health, when you understand that the body is a holistic system, it is an energy, system, it's not just chemicals and matter, right? You start to have a whole different view of health and of the medical system, and what health actually means, what wellness actually means, how to be sovereign in your own health and not always be deferring to the authority of the priests in white robes, aka the doctor and medical class, right? I respect the doctors in this world who are doing good things, but there's plenty more that are not doing good things, and I don't have any respect for them, and I'm at war with those people because they are promoting deception. They're promoting lies that harm people, breaking their Hippocratic oath, which is the prime directive of doctors: do no harm. And I'm not about it. And I think that it's a sick aspect of our culture when people demonize parents who have honest questions, when of course there's so many vaccine injured children. They don't care what the studies say at a certain point. This can't be coincidence. These people aren't all making it up. I prefer to listen to them than to cast them off as stupid and crazy. And of course, there's plenty of studies that back up what they're saying, and plenty of scientific shenanigans that have taken place, and we'll keep talking about that. So, you know, continuing also with the hidden history and, you know, expanding on the electric universe, the Saturn configuration, the idea that our solar system was once in a different configuration, and, you know, it hasn't always been the way it is now. And, you know, our assumption of gradualism, of uniformitarianism, that all changes are just happening at the same rate of change throughout history is fallacious. It's ridiculous. And it's just one of those little things about the Academy that they just, that seed that they put in people's minds that is a dead, poisoned seed. And it's not true. And it keeps people handicapped. And that's another thing we're trying to sweep out of the way so they can see the real truth and open their mind to real possibilities of the history of this planet, of this solar system. Continuing on to Hyperborea and Atlantis and the pyramids, you know, been doing a series recently of, you know, how the redheads built the pyramids, talking about the Phoenicians, talking about ancient Ireland and the church at Tara, about, you know, this vast global civilization that existed, that built the megaliths, that built the pyramids, that performed feats that we are unable to replicate today. So, you know, again, our ancestors were not these dumb naked apes, right? They were the heirs of a global civilization that is millions of years old, not just thousands, not just hundreds of thousands, but millions of years old. And because of the cataclysm that happened about 12,000 years ago, it was all destroyed, right? And there was a civilization at the top of the world called Hyperborea, was destroyed. Basically, an exodus of people came down into Middle Earth, right? And you had essentially the whole, you know, playing out of history as we know it. And, you know, the white people coming down from the north, and, you know, this whole racial saga that we're dealing with, the echoes today, started with this cataclysm that happened 12,000 years ago. And in my opinion, we won't ever solve the racial issues until we return to that original division, that original trauma that separated us and caused this whole conflict. It was no fault of our own, but it happened. And we have to, you know, be strong enough to transmute that hatred and that trauma into, you know, basically a higher form of consciousness, so that we can all, you know, basically come together, complement our differences, because we are not all the same. We are different. The races are different. And, you know, we're better and worse at certain things. That's just a fact, right? And that's not a reason for, you know, a hierarchy of races and dominating the world. It's just about complementary aspects and being honest about ourselves, about what, you know, our strengths are, our weaknesses, what our values are, and how to do better, right? Because if we're lying to ourselves, we will not do better. I'll promise you that much. So yeah, Christian Druidry, expanding upon, you know, the religious history of the world, the secret religious history, and, you know, another way that they divide us, of course, in addition to race, is religion. And, you know, it again, just like the racial divisions and the cultural and the national divisions, a lot of times it comes down to language, right? And if you examine the language and you go far enough back, you'll see that Druidry, Druidism, and Christianity, as well as Judaism, all go back to the same root, right? And when we examine the things that were taken out of the Bible in the 4th century at the Council of Nicaea, when we examine this cultural and political and religious struggle that was happening between the church at Rome and the church at Tara in Ireland, right? This is a major aspect of our history that nobody knows about, and it explains so much about the mental program and the virus that has infected people's minds, where they can't understand simple, plain, organic truth right in front of them. They're in this cult of authority. They defer to other people for their perception of reality, and that keeps them enslaved. And, you know, if we could only see with clear eyes and, you know, basically trust our senses as basically made, and this, you know, structure that we're existing in as the image of God, right? We won't always be so afraid to perceive the truth and speak the truth, have that, you know, instant feedback loop, rather than always, oh, I don't trust my senses, oh, what do the authorities say, oh, you know, we should research. But, you know, it's not just the left brain, it's not just the right brain, it's the balance, right? And the pineal gland, you know, allows, you know, your hemispheres to connect to one another. Again, this spiritual as well as biological and psychological and physical, it's all together. And that's why we hit so many topics, you know. I think hopefully you guys are getting kind of the feel of the thing. Orgone magic, as well as art and science. You know, obviously you guys have seen the Orgonite videos. A lot of you have been around for a while. Changing the weather, clearing the sky of chemtrails, right? It's all possible. Again, if you learn about the truth, oh my God, chemtrails, blah, 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 they're poisoning everybody. you incapacitate yourself when you're afraid, when you're in panic mode, right? Don't panic. First rule of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, don't panic, right? Because even when they're spraying the sky, right, we can make orgone devices, and we can clear the sky. We can rebalance that etheric environment by just knowing the simple power that exists in the materials of the planet and how to intelligently combine them. It's that simple, and it's so amazing. You know, I love to see the trolls, not trolls, troll, you know, means a lot of things to different people, but challenging viewers come by the channel and see the Cloudbuster video, you know, which has done great in terms of views. Very, very appreciative of you guys for sharing that video, right? and they're saying, you're crazy, man, you're crazy, there's no way that this can work. And I say, hey man, I don't blame you for being, you know, unconvinced by my video, right? But I encourage you, check it out yourself, and you'll find probably what I found, which is, wow, this actually does work, and there's more going on here than I've been told. And it was the effect of orgonite that led me down this whole path of studying ether physics and understanding, hey, if this is true, which I can see the orgonite clearing the sky, I can see the thousands of different effects that I've achieved by placing orgone devices in a proximity of an electromagnetic field, right? And it's so repeatable and replicable. It is scientific, right? It can be replicated by anybody. And, you know, that's, again, I don't see too many people following in those footsteps, so that's why I make this channel. Help you guys kind of, you know, at least share my notes. We can all compare notes in this, you know. I guess science will tell you all of us are crazy, complete nutballs, right? But it's true. Reality is the ultimate authority, right? What's the quote by Gerald Massey? They must find it difficult, those who have taken authority for the truth rather than truth as the authority, right? That's all you need to say. Yeah, truth and good vibes, you know, bringing out the truth, but also just having that holistic aspect, right? You know, the conspiracies, sure, it's interesting, it matters, it's all good, but, you know, family, vibes, friends, you know, health, wellness, peace, right? These things matter more than just the information, right? Those things matter thousands of times more than Hillary Clinton going to jail, right? Not that that doesn't matter, not that I'm not cheering for that, but that does not matter at all if we lose our cool. To use that terminology. Be cool, honey bunny, be cool, right? And this is kind of, you know, I guess what, you know, I would call the gold pill, right? There's the blue pill, if you go to sleep and be a Democrat. There's red pill, where I realize the control grid and, you know, become a Republican, right? There's the black pill, which is realizing the whole world's evil and it's all run by satanic pedophiles, and just be cynical about all developments at all times. And, you know, I'm making up a new term. I think this is the gold pill, to understand that you are made in the image of God and that the entire universe is connected instantaneously by the etheric field, and that we have had such an amazing, wild history on this planet involving a change of the configuration of the solar system. We have hidden history. There is so much to discover. Truth truly is stranger than fiction. And, you know, this being alive and following these clues is so exciting to me. I'm so happy to you know, just be here. I've been so depressed at times in my life. I've been so close to that line of just like, you know, what's the point of it all? I'll just check out, right? And I've done videos about that, but, you know, when you confront the darkness, the dark night of the soul, eventually, if you can make it through, if you can make it across that bridge, what you will find is ultimate meaning. You will rediscover your own true self, and you will be able to live life and not be defining yourself by the false standards of the matrix, right, of the society. And, you know, ultimately leads me to my last point of peaceful parenting, of, you know, ultimately that's what really matters, is, you know, is producing the next generation of superhumans, of Jedi, of teaching them the truth and the good vibes, and having them just know that from the beginning. They don't have to go down this whole rabbit hole like we did, right? They can start right from the foundation of the top of that pyramid, right? And that all this battling we've been doing against the forces of darkness, right, is not for naught, right? It's not all in vain if we can teach the next generation to be alive and to respect life and to feel, you know, that consciousness just pulsing throughout them into the wider world, so that they can love life and, you know, change reality, you know. And that's the ultimate measure of success as a parent, I would suppose. If your child is happy and able to affect the universe in a way that, you know, is constructive and makes them happy. I feel like I've been able to achieve that in my life. I'm grateful to my parents, I'm grateful to God, I'm grateful for everybody, those who have been supportive, those who haven't been supportive, because often enough the people who challenge you, the people who call you a dumb idiot, they will be the most instructive people you ever meet if you can just hold your ground, be cool, reestablish your principles, do the research, and you know, like I've said, sometimes you should feed the trolls because the trolls will feed you. But that's it. Basically, that's what our channel is going to be about in 2019 going forward. It's going to be a big year. A lot of things are going to happen. It's going to be totally amazing. And yeah, again, I'm just happy to be here on this journey with you guys. I enjoy all of your comments. I appreciate you guys sharing the videos whenever you feel like it, hitting that like button, you know, and building more subscribers. This is not about money to me. We haven't made a single dime from this channel, even though it is technically monetized. It's a labor of love, and we're just trying to build paradise on this planet so that little Isla Spring, Thunderslice, and the rest of the baby Jedi on this planet can live in a beautiful paradise and not have to worry about war and fear and starvation and genocide, and you know, and just for death to return to its natural sacred place of just, you know, you lived a good round and now it's time to reincarnate or off to another planet or whatnot, you know, and yeah, to have a society worth living in that everybody can be stoked about. And yeah. So that's my video today. Again, just kind of a roundabout, you know, a perimeter check, you know, and, you know, again, if there's something you guys want me to hit on, if, you know, again, we got the webcam, if you want to do a Skype call, just talk about something, just let me know. I would love to do a talk with people and build kind of the community aspect of the channel. But anyway, much love to you guys, 21 minutes, hope it's not, you know, too boring of just a recap, but yeah, hope you guys are having a great holiday season, and I'll be making lots more videos here soon, and yeah, I'll see you then. Cheers.
Ah.